Welcome back to my stained glass channel. I'm Gary and I'm going to do a little video on vintage glass cutting tools and why they still work. And well, it's pretty straightforward. So without any more delay, let's get right to it. Okay, we're going to do a little old school demonstration. Here I have, this is a cutter, they call it Diamantor or Diamantor. Used these quite a bit years ago, and reason why they cut really well. However, this old wheel, I mean, it is moving. Let me just check. I'm going to give a quick test on this here. What I'm going to do is upgrade the wheel on it. It's moving freely. Let's see. Actually, it cuts really well. And the reason why, the the wheel is carbide, and more so, the reason why it never froze up, and this has been sitting in no oil for, I'd say, at least 4 years. And the reason why it didn't free up, because the bearing, the part that holds the wheel in here, is brass. You can see it's got an orange tone to it. And what that does, it doesn't bind to the tungsten carbide wheel. It keeps it moving. It doesn't, there's no electrolysis going on. Whereas in newer cutters, you're looking at, well, the height, I'm a little disappointed because this wheel fell out. And I found it. Actually, it's a really good wheel. And I was going to change it with the old Diamantor, which has a great bearing in it. But I just found out the wheel is fine. So we're going to put that on hold. We're going to use that still. And put this carbide wheel aside. I was going to switch it out. Maybe I'll look for another old one. But the reason why I'm disappointed, because I just got another hard cutter, because the other one I had, the wheel popped out, because the bearing is not set in well. And so I bought another one, and I opened this one up. I was going to do a product review. No wheel. So we're going to go ahead and look into that. Meantime, I was going to try something a little fun today. I got my speaker, my microphone. I'm going to go ahead, it's got a magnet on it. I'm going to stick it to a glass cutter. I'm going to stick it right to this. Oh, well, guess what? This is not even metal. That is why it works so well. Neither is this one. What is going on here? You know what? I was trying. Huh. That's weird. It stuck to it before. It's not this one. Oh, never mind. I was gonna put it on a glass cutter and actually score with the microphone on it, which would be kind of fun. Let's see, I wonder why it's sticking slightly to that. Sticks to the wheel. All right. Back to the Diamantor. Let me get my handy new brush out and clean up this labeling a little bit. This has been sitting around for so long. These cutters actually come, I remember there were a brass toning to them. Yeah, you can see the name now pretty clear. There you go. If you got any of these old vintage cutters, don't get rid of them, because you can refurbish them. It's like an old car. You can change the parts. And on this side, it says extra. I could be wrong, but I think these are made in Germany. I could be wrong. But if you can find any old Diamantor glass cutters, grab them. And I'll show you one. I'm going to use some typical, I guess this is, I don't even know, could be Armstrong. It has like an Armstrong texture to it. But it's not easy glass to cut. It's got a lot of divots and bumps, whether it's the front or the back. Actually, the back is a lot smoother, but it's rougher. It's more stippled. So I'm going to cut on the front. It's actually a very pretty glass. The red. And we're going to take our Diamantor cutter. We're going to show how nice. And this has been laying around for many years, but I remember having them. So it's my go-to cutter. And just to show you how well, right through that divot. Yeah, normally, if you're trying to push that, you're all over the place. But I used the Diamantor. You see, I started the score and snapped it right through. There's no reason to start a score, turn the glass around, come back this way, get behind the run. There's no need for that. You start it, you get it snapping, and you safely grab the piece and you snap it down. This cutter will require a little bit more pressure because it's not as sharp as all the other cutters. I found that out. But it's okay with the pressure because it allows you to really get into the glass and what you need to do. The discussion about having different levels of pressure is a great discussion. It's something that should always be considered. All glass does not cut the same with the same amount of pressure. And red glass, especially red, white, pink, oranges, all the hot glass colors tend to have a little more resistance to them. Excuse me. Resistance meaning that they're harder to cut. Yeah, but yeah, I'm glad I found this. I was going to swap out the new wheel out of the hide, which it's a really good wheel. I've cut with them. They work really well, but they fall out. And then put it in an old glass cutter. And I just realized this is a Diamantor. It's like Gigantor in the glass cutter. I ordered these by the dozens and used them exclusively. So, yeah, if you ever come across them, don't get rid of them. This is actually one of the best cutters ever made, the stained glass. Besides the old Fletchers, the gold bands, these are good cutters as well. I didn't even check this wheel on this one. I'm just pulling out old glass cutters I had laying around. Let's give this Fletcher a try. Yeah, it's a little dull, but it still works. And the history with the Fletcher cutters as well, you could see this one's got the bearing is more of a tube, and I believe it's probably of a stronger alloy than regular steel, but it tends to bind the glass, the wheel. So that's why I don't like them. You look at put a light right through it, you see daylight through that bearing. But it's a good cutter. This is actually, this is it's a standard. I believe it's a standard. The Fletcher gold bands, you want them to look, this is a really old one. Has it could be a carbide, but I'd have to check. Actually, this one right here is, and no doubt this one, probably the same vintage. But anyway, I wanted to do a quick video just talking about old glass covers. And if you find one, this Diamantor, and my friend Bob, he'll attest to me. He agrees. He goes, "Hey, you still got your Diamantor?" I go, "I think I do, Bob." And there it is, and cuts great. Push cutting, you can get by with it, but you want to cut really well, have superior control. There was talk about how then you can cut glass and this and that. I'm going to say a 6 to 7 pounds of pressure on an old Diamantor with a bearing that runs as smooth as silk, you cut right through glass. Thanks for watching. It's a little different video from me, but again, it's the importance of good tools. And unfortunately, fortunately to me, you can see the reflection of that bearing. It's like very shiny. It's brass. This tool didn't get ruined by me neglecting it for 23 years, leaving it out. But I will be leaving this in my mineral spirits now. I'm not going to take it out. Thanks for watching, and if you like my videos, you want to see more, make sure you subscribe. And don't miss my next video. I may do a book review, my new book I have, but I don't want to do the self-promoting stuff too much. I'm not about self-promoting like that. I mean, it helps. I want to get the word out, but I'd rather do product reviews and common sense glass cutting knowledge and stained glass knowledge. I am expecting a few those succulent, excuse me camera, the succulent jigs tomorrow. I'm going to make a new pattern for it and actually use the jigs, and that'll be my product review. I'm a little disappointed in one thing. They make these for 6-sided, meaning there's 6 pattern repeats. And I am from the camp. I like things with 5 sides, like stars, 5 and 7. Because if you made this into a succulent, the next layer you can place the layers strategically to make it look nice. If you have 6, you're going to have too much consistency in the layering. I hope that made sense. I'm going to try to get that succulent jig to work with 5 pieces. Or actually, I'm going to revisit my old jig that I made out of a peanut butter jar. And it sounds crazy, but it looks... I didn't actually build a succulent on it, but there's for no reason why it should not work. And I have a 5 pattern succulent thing made up. I'm going to maybe go back to that. A peanut butter lid and a 10-penny nail. Basically, it doesn't cost you anything. They're easy to make. You use a soda cap, water bottle cap. And I wanted to do that video, so maybe I'll do a side-by-side with the jig and then the peanut butter lid. We'll see. just subscribe, and you'll be able to check it out as soon as I'm done. And if you like my videos, do give me a thumbs up, and subscribe. I hate saying the self-promoting. At that, everybody have a nice day. We'll see you on the next one. Take care. Well, thanks again for watching. I hope you have success with your glass cutting. And if you do find, old glass cutters like a Diamantor, these tools are made really well. I did find out after the video, looking up close, that it is made in Germany, and with the brass bearing, it's always been my go-to cutter, and it will continue. And this is now 25 years later, and if you ever get a chance of picking up old tools like that, especially made in Germany, whether it's a glass cutter or pattern shears or what have you, do yourself a favor, pick it up. Don't pass on it. And again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you real soon. We're going to get that succulent form video up and give it a shot, and make a new pattern for it too as well. And with that, take care and have a very nice day.